You know, it's interesting how we've come to view land and territory in today's world. I mean, the idea of buying states like Alaska or Minnesota, can you imagine? It's almost comical when you think about it. A throwback to a time when land was just a commodity to be traded, like baseball cards or stocks. Back in the day, you had the Louisiana Purchase, and then Alaska was sold off like it was some kind of garage sale item. But today we're living in a world where borders are more than just lines on a map. They're wrapped up in complex international laws and the very essence of national sovereignty. The thought of buying a state feels like a relic of a bygone era. Yet in a way, it serves as a metaphor for our interconnectedness. We're all sharing resources, ideas, and cultures, even if we're not literally buying each other's land. And then there's the relationship between Canada and the US. Man, it's a wild mix of camaraderie and competition. On one hand, they're practically best friends. They trade, they defend each other, they share cultural moments. But on the other hand, there's this subtle rivalry that simmers beneath the surface. You can feel it in the air, whether it's about trade agreements or who's got the better hockey team. And let's not forget the jabs. Ford's comment about buying states? It's a playful poke that highlights this friendly rivalry, reminding us that resources and geography are still central to their partnership. Now let's talk about humor in politics. It's such a powerful tool. It can disarm people, distract them, and allow for serious conversations to happen in a way that feels approachable. Ford's quip could be seen as a light-hearted way to address some of the heavier issues like trade or resource management. It's like a gentle nudge, keeping the tone casual while still making a point. And then you have figures like Trump, who have mastered the art of throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. It's a classic diversion tactic. When the headlines focus on personality rather than substance, the real issues like inflation or policy gridlocks can slip under the radar. Looking ahead, it's fascinating to think about how intertwined the US and Canada might become. Sure, the idea of political unification sounds far-fetched, but the reality is they already share deep economic ties through agreements like NAFTA, now USMCA. They're collaborating on renewable energy and tackling climate change together, yet the sovereignty and national identities are pretty strong, so a complete blending seems unlikely. But here's the kicker: humor really does bridge gaps. When political leaders use humor, they not only make tough conversations easier but also humanize themselves. That joke about maple syrup and barbecue sauce, it's a perfect example of cultural blending, showing that despite our differences, we share values and yes, flavors. So, to wrap it up, yes, Trump may be diverting focus, and Ford is definitely playing the game to keep things light. But these quips remind us of the complexities of modern diplomacy, where humor, history, and realpolitik intersect in ways we might not expect. And speaking of modern diplomacy, Trump's idea of buying Greenland, not happening. The EU stands firmly with Denmark. No matter how big the US, China, Russia, or even India are, they have to play by the rules of engagement of international norms and treaties. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating insights.